And another thing, man, pimps and womanizers are restricted from growth. You can't grow as a man. You can't expand your brain and your train of thought as a pimp or a womanizer. In order to get a bitch to be on your team, if you a pimp and the socialize with your other hoes, you have to get that bitch to fall in love with you, bro. You got to get that bitch to fall in love with everything you stand for, who you are as a person. She has to be down with the program. Cause it's, man, to get a woman to work with another woman, your game has to be so on point, and the person you is have to be so intoxicating to that broad that broad gotta really be head over heels for you, man. You know what I mean? Same thing for a player. To get a woman to want to be your old lady, to get on your team like that, you gotta run that game to that bitch, man. So, to tell that bitch, hey, I'm the reason why you need to let all the other niggas know you got a nigga now. So once that happens, pretty much you pretty much stuck. That woman doesn't want to see you go from that point, from that moment on. You become like a vampire once that happens. Vampires don't age. They stay the same age forever. So that woman is gonna, once that woman falls in love with you, and the game that you gave her to get her to be convinced to follow whatever program you trying to get her to follow, she doesn't want you to grow from that. If you grow from that, if you change from that, if you deviate from that, you have now committed an act of betrayal. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing that really be fucking up womanizers who are in committed relationships, and pimps who pimping hoes, getting their money, and got them working with other bitches. You know what I'm saying? You can't grow. You can't grow. Grow. You growing as a man. You growing mentally. You becoming more mature. You becoming more aware or more woke, as they call it, jeopardizes the situation you has with your bitches. A man who fall in love with a chick at a young age, and he becomes a real man in his mid 30s, and he starts to understand that he's just not getting in his prime. He starts to understand that maybe he got into a committed relationship a little bit too young. He want to grow as a man. He risking creating an enemy with the bitch that he fell in love with in his earlier 20s. If he decides to grow, if he starts to mature, if he starts to expand his way of thinking, he's risking putting his life in jeopardy. He can't grow. A pimp who made enough money to get out the game, and now he wants to go legit and cut all these hoes loose, he's risking having these hoes expose all his secrets from all the shit he had to do in the streets in his earlier years while he was getting his money up. So if he wants to grow and get out of the street and cut these hoes loose, now he risking these hoes going back and putting all his information to the laws. So he can't grow. He can grow, but he can't grow, because if he grow, he jeopardizing every fucking thing. As a Mac, you don't have that problem. You don't have that problem as a Mac, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, see, once you get a woman to get on your team and fall in love with you, it's an emotion that requires the same energy and consistency. You know what I'm saying? There was that. It requires the same energy and consistency that was there from day one to sustain it. You can't change the energy of love. Love is an emotion that has to have that same type of energy. Once you change the energy that was created to start that shit, then that love is going to end, and the new love is going to have to begin. And this thing about love, the shit is an emotion, it's a thought. So the shit going to change anyway, because you cannot keep the same consistency going. People are like batteries. Every day the energy you have from that day is going to die. You're going to go to sleep. You're going to wake up with a new energy. So that's why love is impossible to sustain. People who've been together for 6, 7 years, they don't love each other. Not the same way they did when they first got together. Because every day that energy dies, and they have to try to recreate that shit. That's why they always say tomorrow is another day. Tomorrow is another day. That means tomorrow is a new source of energy. So the energy that was going on today, once you go to sleep, once that sun go down and come back up, it's going to be a brand new source of energy. So that's why a lot of people fuck up in the game, because now you done been with this person for so long, the energy done changed so much. You don't grow, they don't grow, but you can't grow because if you grow, now you're jeopardizing the shit that you build with that person, and that person is just sitting there waiting for your ass to try to grow so they can go ahead and jump off in your ass.